Hello, welcome to Lifted by Lisa. Today is Transformation Tuesday, and so this is really if you're going through some changes or a bit of transformation at the moment. Now, the energy I picked up before doing this and sort of as I was starting, it feels like quite a heavy energy, so I had to actually start again. Anyway, today is all about transformation. If you found this video, then you're very much welcome. For any part that you don't feel it's for you, then that's totally okay. But if you have found this video, then there will be something that you probably need to hear along the way. So yeah, you're all very welcome, and hopefully I can my spirit team will come through with something that is needed for you to hear today. So I'm going to pick from the Shadow of Darkness, which these are just like our shadow side that we need to work on at the moment, something that we need to put into practice, something that just while we're going through this transformation or while we're going through this change. So we've got integration, which is so cool because that was the card that I just picked before I redid the whole reading. And I was like, the energy was so heavy and dense. I was like, I need to start again. And spirit doesn't lie. So this is all about you're beginning to see the benefits of your life experiences, the good and the bad, and how they intersect to create a rich platform in which to build. When you can appreciate the lessons and the strengths developed through each adversity, the challenging aspects of your reality can transform into wisdom. In this way, they no longer limit but expand your world and your potential. Gratitude doesn't absolve wrongdoing. Instead, it allows you to move forward with balanced awareness. Rather than feeling that anything has control over your reactions, you can choose your responses. Blaming your experience or person for how you feel gives them influence that can change your life. So turn towards your shadow self and look at anything or anyone you have made responsible for how you feel. Face them with honesty and courage. Tell them that you are your own person, that you are strong and in command of your choices and feelings, and thank yourself for bravery, claiming power and wisdom from adversity. Know that you are whole and free to be all who you are. So yeah, this is like integrating all the parts of ourselves, the good and the bad, or not that there's good and bad, that parts of ourselves that we may not want to see that side anymore, parts of our past or anything. And this is also taking ownership of like who we are and knowing that we can create our own good and bad in our world. We can also we're responsible for our own emotions and our own feelings. So if you're not feeling so great and you're sort of blaming someone else for those emotions and feelings, just know that you have the power to actually shift your mindset, shift your mood, and understand where that feeling is coming from. Rather than saying you're making me feel like this, just be like, oh, I'm feeling like this right now. What's going on? Like, how can I shift that? How can I, shift my own mood, and also integrate all the parts of myself, and understand where these feelings are coming from and putting them all together. So this is once you can be aware of this, especially in every situation, you don't have to take on other people's stuff, other people's moods, other people's feelings and things like that, because you can understand what you're feeling and how you're feeling in situations around other people, and you're not blaming anyone for how you're feeling. You're really like, okay, if I'm not feeling so great, I have the choice to shift my mood or change, you know, move on from this or move away from the environment, or, you know, how do I choose to react to this? How do I choose to show up? So that's just a little bit of integration there. And then I thought I'd just, because like there was so much emotions going on, I was like, I'm going to pick some of the moon cards, because I want to see what the emotions are going on underneath and how we can, you know, maybe release some of those. So a personal issue reaches resolution. So full moon in Cancer. So yeah, this is all like, you know, if we've got a issue with someone, or we're blaming someone else for the way we're feeling, or, you know, we're taking on other people's emotions and feelings, this is a good time for you like to resolve these. And this could even just be like reaching out, you know, if someone's making you feel a certain way, how can you address that and be like, rather than be like, you're doing this to me, be like, hey, when you speak to me like that, it makes me feel like this. And then they can choose to sort of shift the way they speak to you or the way they are, or you can choose whether you want to be around that person if they're not going to listen to you. But if you've got any personal issues, whether it's with like a loved one or at work or anything, just know when you are stepping away from blaming and you're integrating all the parts of yourself and understanding how you really feel in different situations. And not that anything's good or bad, we're just learning, you know, we're learning stuff through all of these situations that might be challenging. What am I learning here? What can I integrate in this lesson? And how can I communicate better with this, you know, person? And, you know, so I feel like if there is a issue with someone that you got tension with, I'm feeling like, especially this is a full moon in Cancer, we're coming into a new moon in a week's time, or just under, I think on Saturday, don't quote me on that, but this is when we can start setting new intentions for the new moon, how we want to show up for those around us and for ourselves. So that's a little bit of the emotions going on there. And then I just wanted to do some tarot to see what's if there's anything after this personal issue. Once, you know, when we resolve this, or, you know, when we start integrating what the tarot has got for us. Good luck. Awesome. Wheel of Fortune, you've got some good karma coming. And this is all about integrating the different parts and you know, speaking rather than like blaming. We actually we come from like good communication, where we speak our truth and we're like, you know, speak how we really feel. So you'll have that the Wheel of Fortune. I'm feeling like this is all about change and a turning point. So you're going to have some changes which are going to really help once you integrate all these parts and also know that people aren't responsible for how we feel. We are responsible for how we feel. So can we shift how we feel, or can we communicate and resolve any issues with people so we can be understood a little bit more. We've got the Page of Cups reverse. So that's talking like it's kind of like that you might be dealing with someone that is emotionally immature, and so this might be where I don't mean to laugh, it's just sometimes when someone is emotionally immature, it's really hard to like find reason, like to speak to them in a certain way, to find reason with them. They're just not at the same emotional maturity level with you. So this is where, you know, they might be the one also blaming you a lot. So this is where you can also help talk to them about, like, you know, I'm not responsible for your feelings. We are all responsible for our own feelings. And so either like, I feel like you could be dealing with emotionally immature person, and this is where getting resolving communication with them and really talking to them about how we're feeling, and also taking on how we're, you know, acknowledging how we're feeling, and not blaming people for how we're feeling. And then we've just got the Four of Pentacles has been coming up in quite a few readings. So that you could be dealing with someone that is quite controlling with money, or they're quite frugal, because this is someone who really likes to hold on to money. And they're quite conservative. So maybe this is someone's a little bit immature with their thinking, and they're also quite controlling. So either that's someone you're dealing with, or you know someone, or if that's something that you're struggling with, then that's something that you can be looking at, and how do I integrate all these parts and work on my communication. But I'm really feeling like this is someone who is their emotional immaturity is sort of getting in the way of like your feelings, and or then maybe they're not understanding. So this is when we can really like try and work on good communication to like model that to them, and working on those boundaries. So yeah, if this is a controlling sort of person that is quite frugal, so I do feel like there will be this will reach a resolution with the full moon in Cancer here. So it's just really working when we can, you know, not play on that blaming game. And sometimes we have to be the adult, we have to be the responsible one, and take the lead, which is the Knight of Swords, which I feel like is it's you, someone who is ambitious and action orientated, and they're driven to succeed. So this is when you can really use your sword and defend like yourself and your boundaries, and you know, use this fast thinking for really good communication right now. And so I'm just going to pull a couple of spirit messages to end the reading. If this resonated with you, or you feel like you know who this person is, or like you're like, yep, I totally hear that, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And yeah, we've got do not give up as some light, nice messages at the end. I always like to finish with some yeah, there's a lot of passion. So you are someone who has got a lot of passion. So so these passions, integrating this into good communication is where you will really succeed. So do not give up, and there is a lot of passion here for you. So yeah, that is your reading for today for Transformation Tuesday, and come back tomorrow for the love reading if that's something that you are interested in. Wednesday I have the midweek love reading. So thank you for being here, and as always, like and subscribe if you found this, if it resonated with you, and I'd love to see you again. Much love, Lisa. Bye.